An Astrologer's Day is a famous short story written by R.K. Narayan. It was first published in 1943 in his well-known story collection Malgudi Days. All the stories in this collection take place in a fictional South Indian town called Malgudi, which Narayan created as the setting for many of his works. The story is simple yet powerful, exploring themes like fate, deception, guilt, revenge, and the influence of the past on our present life. The story centers on an unnamed man who earns his living as an astrologer. Every evening, he sits under a tree in a crowded market street of Malgudi. Around him are many other small shopkeepers and vendors selling different things, and the area becomes lively and busy as night approaches. The astrologer wears a bright turban, sacred ash on his forehead, and sits beside colorful charts of the stars to create the appearance of a professional fortune teller. However, the truth is that he knows very little about astrology. Instead of real knowledge of the stars, the astrologer relies on observation and clever guessing. When people come to him, he carefully studies their expressions, clothes, and reactions. He asks a few general questions and allows them to speak about their problems. For these clues, he builds convincing predictions about their lives. He also tells people what they usually want to hear, because positive predictions make customers happy and more willing to pay him. One evening, after finishing a long day of work, the astrologer begins packing his things to go home. Just then, he notices a stranger standing nearby. Hoping to earn a little more money, he invites the man to sit down and have his fortune told. But this stranger is not an easy customer. He immediately questions the astrologer's ability and challenges him. The stranger proposes a deal. He will give the astrologer 1 anna if the prediction is correct. But if the astrologer fails to satisfy him, he must return the money with interest. After some bargaining, they agree on new terms. If the astrologer succeeds, he will receive 8 annas. But if he fails, he must pay even more money to the stranger. At first, the astrologer's usual tricks do not impress the man. The stranger seems skeptical and impatient. Then suddenly, the astrologer says something shocking. He tells the man that he was once stabbed and thrown into a well, left there to die. The stranger is stunned because the prediction is exactly correct. The astrologer continues and even calls the man by his name, Guru Nayak. This makes the stranger even more amazed. Guru Nayak then asks this astrologer the most important question of his life. He wants to know where he will finally meet the man who tried to kill him, because he has spent years searching for that person to take revenge. The astrologer pauses for a moment and then gives his answer. He tells Guru Nayak that the man who attacked him died 4 months ago in a distant town. According to the astrologer, the man was crushed under a lorry and is no longer alive. Because of this, there is no reason for Guru Nayak to continue searching for him. The astrologer then advises Guru Nayak to return to his village and never travel again. If he stays there peacefully, he will live a long life, perhaps even reach the age of 100. Hearing this news, Guru Nayak feels satisfied. His entire journey had been about finding the man who attacked him. Now that he believes the man is dead, he happily decides to return home. Later that night, the astrologer finally goes home and tells his wife about the strange encounter. During their conversation, a surprising truth is revealed. Years ago, before he became an astrologer, the man had been involved in a violent fight in his village. During that fight, he stabbed a man and threw him into a well. Believing that he had killed him, terrified of punishment, he ran away from his village and eventually started a new life in Malgudi as a fake astrologer. Then shocking twist is that the stranger he met that evening was the same man he had once tried to kill, Guru Nayak. The astrologer instantly recognized him during the fortune telling session. That is why he was able to describe the incident so accurately. By convincing Guru Nayak that the attacker was already dead, the astrologer saved himself from being discovered and from facing revenge. In the end, the astrologer feels relieved. For years, he had lived with the fear that the man he attacked might still be alive. Now he realizes that the man survived and that he has successfully escaped his past. Through this clever and suspenseful story, R.K. Narayan shows how the past can unexpectedly return to confront us, and how quick thinking and human psychology can shape our fate. An Astrologer's Day is remembered for its dramatic twist ending and its insightful look at guilt, destiny, and survival.